Now at 5, we start with breaking news, a massive water main break and thousands of people who now at this hour should be boiling their water.
We are live from the east side, plus another property tax proposal.
We have the new amendments being considered today. Angela?
And rain on radar right now and more in the forecast, but I also have a warm up just in time for Friday and the weekend.
We're getting you set and ready for Purdue's Sweet 16 matchup against Houston tomorrow night here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Hear what the Boilers had to say. That's coming up.
We begin tonight at 5 o'clock with breaking news.
A water main break is causing big issues across the east side. All of this happened on 22nd near Andrew J. Brown Avenue, and a large boil order has been issued. It will last at least 48 hours. So we want you to see this map. It shows you how widespread all of this is, and it is a Citizens Energy that's advising people who live there and businesses to boil water.
So this area impacts from Southeastern all the way to 62nd Street. Karen Campbell joins us live at the water main break. And Karen, we see that the water is receding from the high levels we had earlier today, but I understand there still is a lot of cleanup underway.
Yeah, Anne Marie and Felicia, I mean, a different scene than what we witnessed earlier today. Crews are here now with Citizens Energy. They've put dirt on the road. They've cleared the water up from the road. And now what they're doing, I'm going to step out of the way so you can see a little bit clearer what they're doing. What happened was all of that water that covered this roadway created a hole, a sort of sinkhole in that road. So they're, digging up the area, of course, trying to repair that area, but they're also trying to figure out specifically what caused this water main break to happen. We know it's not only impacting homes and businesses in the area, but daycare centers, some Eskenazi health centers on the side, even some indie parks. Now, a business owner in this area, 22nd and Andrew J. Brown, tells us that he's been here for 13 years and has never witnessed anything this bad before. He says about a foot of water gushed into his Greenfield Signs business. Now, we know, of course, this is impacting thousands of Hoosiers who live and work on the east side of Indy within that outage area map. And most public schools we know are on spring break, which can be good news, but we know at least one school, Our Lady of Lourdes, changed to e-learning tomorrow. A spokesperson from Citizens Energy says, again, there is that boil water in effect through at least noon on Saturday. Now, he also wants customers to know that this is the best way to stay safe.
Before folks wash or use water to prep their food or drink, make sure to boil that water. It is precautionary, but it's something we want to make sure that our customers have the best water quality.
And Citizens is closing down valves, they say, to figure out where specifically this break occurred. Now, that is how crews are able to restore the pressure to those who are impacted. So, as Hoosiers are coming home from work, many of them will find that they have to make adjustments as they prepare for dinner or even consider bathing. Again, that boil water in effect as crews back out here live on the scene are trying to repair this area and again, fix this water main break. Now, here's something important. Citizens wants everyone to know that if you do have running water, it is still important if you're in that impact zone that you should still boil your water, again, just to be safe. Ladies.
All right, Karen Campbell reporting live for us tonight. Thank you.
Important information. We're going to stay on top of this breaking news, and we'll have updates on the impact to the number of neighborhoods impacted on air and on our mobile app.
Well, there's about a month left in this year's Indiana legislative session. Property tax relief a top issue, and it remains front and center at the State House today.
And House Democrats announced some amendments they'd like put into the final version of SB 1. That's the state's property tax relief bill. 13 News reporter Emily Longnecker is here with the adjustments they want in the plan. Emily?
Democratic State Representative Greg Porter is the ranking minority member on the House Ways and Means Committee. That's the committee that right now is looking at Senate Bill 1, the property tax relief plan, and proposing changes to it. And today, Porter talked about changes that Democrats would like to see in this bill via 11 amendments that they're proposing. Porter says he'd like to find common ground with lawmakers across the aisle when it comes to property tax relief.
The common ground is adopted some of these amendments that we have in regards to Senate Bill 1 and see what we have. That can be some of the common ground.
In a perfect world, Porter says at least half of his party's amendments would make it into the final plan.
I like to have a 50% batting average since it's baseball season.
But if he had to pick 3 to get there, at the top of his list right now, an amendment calling for a 1% cap on how much property taxes could increase each year for those 65 and older. Right now, that cap is 2%.
We do not want to continue to have seniors pushed out of their homes, period.
Porter also has an amendment for a state-funded homestead property tax freeze for veterans who have a service-related disability. Another amendment would increase the renter's deduction from $3,000 to $5,000. Democratic House Minority Leader Phil Giaquinta says he's looked at the plan and supports it.
We really need to make sure that the focus is on homeowners and not corporations, and that's what, if we have the opportunity as the House Democrats, we'll push some amendments to do just that.
The governor's original property tax relief plan called for cutting property taxes by $1 billion across the state. The Senate's version changed that after hearing testimony from local governments and schools about how cuts would impact services. In the Senate's proposal, property taxes wouldn't go down, they just wouldn't grow as much year to year. Final details of the House's version are still being worked out, but an early proposal called for reducing property taxes, just not by as much as what's in the governor's plan.
I really believe we're going to be able to provide, majority of taxpayers are going to pay less on their 26 property taxes than they did this year, which that doesn't happen very often. And we're going to be able to kind of eliminate the big spikes in property taxes in future years.
Lawmakers must decide what that looks like in its final form in the next 30 days. And lawmakers on both sides of the aisle today saying that they believe that can happen over the next 4 weeks. Representative Porter characterizing that as plenty of time, saying miracles happen here within just hours. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
And thank you, Emily. Governor Braun has said if he is not happy with the version of property tax relief that lawmakers arrive at, he will veto it or call a special session to work on the issue further. Angela?
Felicia, rain on radar moving from northwest to southeast. We've got a couple of areas of rain, one north and one south. Some of the steadier rain falling from near Lafayette to Kokomo, tipped into Hartford City, into Muncie and Anderson. Also a few showers to the south. These will continue off and on over the next couple of hours, and we expect additional heavier rain overnight. Now, it is mild. Temperatures in the middle and upper 50s. We've had sun, we've had clouds, we've had rain chances today, and that trend will continue as we head into the early evening.
All right, Angela, and from the NCAA Sweet 16 to the Indy 11 home opener, there's just a little something for everyone downtown this weekend.
Lots of events. There are thousands of fans that are there making their way into town tonight. Alex Almanza talked to safety officials who say, given this influx, safety really is a top goal.
From Gainbridge Fieldhouse to Lucas Oil Stadium, every corner of the city is gearing up for a packed weekend. While fans focus on fun, IMPD is putting safety front and center, putting all hands on deck. IMPD tells us they're increasing their presence downtown with more officers on the ground as crowds begin to pour in for the NCAA Men's Basketball Midwest Regional Tournament starting Friday, the IHSAA Boys Basketball State Finals on Saturday, and then the Indy 11 soccer home opener also on Saturday. Now, we've already seen signs of increased presence like this police escort you see for the Tennessee Volunteers men's basketball team earlier today. Now, IMPD is asking for patience as traffic builds and also urging people to stay aware and report anything suspicious. As fans flood the city, officials are also reminding visitors to pack their patience and stay alert.
We're going to have a lot of people from out of town that aren't familiar with this city. That's going to have a high pedestrian traffic and a high vehicular traffic. We don't want to see those two go together. So that's everybody keeping those heads up out of those phones and paying attention to the traffic, vehicle, and pedestrian.
An important reminder there from IMPD. Lots of people out and about as they start exploring Indianapolis, checking into hotels. Everyone is really just here to have a good time, and these safety plans are in place to make sure fans get exactly that. Coming up at 6, how other organizations are working hand in hand with IMPD to get more eyes on the ground. In downtown Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.